I'm not crazy. You're the one who's crazy. All I wanted was a Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me. From r/BadRoommates. Yes, welcome back. We've done it once before. If you missed that video, link in the description. Am I the antagonist for moving out and getting away from my crazy roommate? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. This girl from Discord took me in over the fall, and I am beyond grateful for her giving me a new chance. Yeah, sounds like it from the post title, doesn't it? But this girl is genuinely unhinged and out of touch with the reality, and most definitely has NPD. For one, I have OCD and I get extremely nauseous when I clean up my plates. She refuses to help me with that because she says that at 24, I should be able to do my own dishes. I mean, all of that's accurate. You think that's enough? OCD means you like order, right? Not dirty plates strewn about your bedroom. Oh, you're a pig. We're 3 sentences in and you're a pig. Another thing is that I talk to my friends quietly at night, yet she always freaks out, telling me to go outside into the freezing snow at 4 a.m. to do my calls because she has to work in the morning and is conveniently a light sleeper whenever I need to vent to my friends. Are you venting quietly like you said, or are you like, my roommate's so horrible? And she's like, you're living here, I'm paying all the bills, please. I'm sure there's another post that gives like the other perspective. Just keep in mind that this is the version of events that OP tells to try and make herself look good. And the truth will be revealed. Just going to mention, I literally have no other friends, and these friends help me through literally everything. You know, maybe it's not a bunch of Discord friends that should be helping you through literally everything. Maybe you need to speak to like a professional licensed therapist. I'm just saying. Have you considered it? Tonight, somebody in the Discord saw a photo of me that I didn't want anybody to see, and I had a panic attack. And my roommate texted me asking me to take out the trash. I told her to do it herself, and she said no, because she's sick. She's pretending. I caused her enough stress to end up with a slight cold or whatever. I took out the trash to shut her up and asked her sarcastically if she was happy, and she said, yes, thank you for doing a chore. This is so off the rails already. I am loving every part of it. If you're really having that bad of a panic attack over a picture that got released on Discord that you didn't want people to see, maybe you need to go offline for a little while, touch some grass, you know? Terminally online is not a good look. At this point, I started yelling at her to leave me alone, and she said, you need to find somebody else to pay your rent. This is ridiculous. I got even angrier and asked my aunt to ask my roommate to leave me alone. Her health is failing too, so my roommate should not be causing her this kind of stress. Bro, you're the one that's stressing your aunt. You're the one that dragged her into this whole thing. The level of delusion is just off the charts, dude. My roommate mockingly asked, did you seriously snitch on me to your elderly aunt over everything? And my roommate started lying about me and making me out to be some sort of psycho. I mean, if the shoe fits. My aunt, who knows me better than anybody, saw through her act and told her off. I asked her to get in touch with a relative because I feel unsafe here, and I let her know that all of my friends are helping me craft an escape plan. You don't need an escape plan. Pack up your stuff and walk out the door. I will praise Jesus every day that you are gone. Please just go. Escape plan, dude. I ended the call and let my roommate know that so many people see through her manipulation. She said, okay, do you want me to leave your stuff in your room? I told her that I might need her to take me to the post office to help me ship my belongings. Dude, she's literally done everything for you. Drive me to the post office, pay my rent. And she's the horrible one? I just can't. I want to believe it's satire so bad. Roommate says, if that's what it takes for you to get help, fine. Not like you'll be my problem anymore. Meanwhile, she is convinced that she's absolutely perfect and doesn't have NPD. Yeah, you're really big on like the armchair diagnosis. I read about narcissism. I know what the signs are. Oh yeah, really? Did your favorite Reddit YouTuber tell you all about that? You can form a theory, but just recognize that it's armchair psychology, okay? So tell me guys, am I the a-hole? I feel like this will be best for me, but she openly mocks me for feeling unsafe here and always claims that she could easily find a dozen people to testify for me if I took her to court. And I do feel kind of bad because she only makes like $650 a paycheck and our rent is $1,100 a month, but you know, she should have gotten help. Oh my God. Oh my God, you're insufferable. How have you not been taken out back and beaten? $650 she's got like $100 for herself to survive. Is there any food in this house? I am deeply concerned. Why would she ever invite OP in? And then why would she keep her once the true colors start flying? I guess she didn't. She said you need to find somewhere else to live. But you know OP is just gonna hang out for as long as humanly possible. Oh God, I hate it. OP comes to defend herself in the comments, of course, because she definitely doesn't have NPD, right? And I guess we'll read some of those. Temporary 878 says, why is it her problem if you have OCD and can't wash your own dishes? That's on you to figure out a solution. She isn't a maid. Your quality of friends is irrelevant. If you're speaking loudly enough every night to cause disturbance, you need to adjust what times you vent to them. What on earth has your aunt got to do with this? If her health is as bad as you say, you need to leave her alone. Your roommate did not make you call her. You're responsible for your own choices, so speak for yourself. Between the yelling, calling your sick aunt to save you, inability to clean up after yourself, and the nerve to say that your roommate is the problem, you come off as chronically unaware. Live by yourself. Chronically unaware is probably the nicest way I could think of to put this. Sometimes the Reddit comment sections, they really nail it down, especially when it is this obvious. OP comes back and says, there is a solution. I keep telling her to buy dishwasher soap, but she finds that to be a waste since we only have 4 plates and 4 bowls. As for my aunt, I go to her about everything. We are extremely close, and she's heard everything that my roommate has done. Leave your aunt alone. Did you miss that part? Why don't you buy some dishwashing soap? Go panhandle so you can have more than 4 plates and 4 bowls. Contribute anything to either this household or society at large. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Temporary 878 responds to OP and says, and at 24, you're capable of speaking to someone for yourself without having someone else come and do it for you. Your roommate has no obligation to engage with your aunt, who she doesn't even live with. If she bought dish soap, would you use it to clean your own dishes, or would you make her do it? I'm failing to see why you can't buy dish soap for your own personal use. You don't find it ironic that the AITA sub took down your post for not being truthful and accurate? Quit harassing your roommate and go see a therapist. I echo everything that was just said there. Zek Drago and the Cap also jump in, replying to OP's defense. Why can't you buy your own dish machine soap with your own money? Their roommate doesn't have to waste anything of theirs. As for your aunt, it's fine to go to her with your problems, but it's not fine to expect her to call and fight your battles. You are the one putting undue stress on her. And the fact that you're trying to blame it on your roommate, it is truly insane. Insane. Yes, the level of disconnect, just unreal. I'm having a hard time to swallow down that this could be an actual person. The Cap says, why does she need to buy dishwasher soap to solve your issue? The theme here is that you expect everyone around you to cater to you without actually even trying to solve your own problems. Do you think this OP just goes through their entire life like this? That's probably how it was in her childhood, and she expects it to just go on at 24 years old. Bro, that's a quarter of a century almost. You need to get it figured out. Another commenter says, you're so far out of touch with reality, it is astounding. Your roommate is requesting normal stuff, dude. You might need to check in with a therapist if someone asking you to respect their living space bothers you this much. Also, not everyone you don't like or is rude to you has NPD. You are not a doctor. Okay, but what else do you want from me, okay? I took out the trash one time. When is enough enough? Oh no, bro, the trash fills up every couple days. Please, just help out a little bit. You're not paying any rent. Do you not know how good this situation you have is? And you decide to blow it all up? I don't understand. Zappykins said, dude, you were already told last time by everyone after you posted that you are absolutely the problem. Stop posting on Reddit and get your stuff together. Hurry up and leave this poor girl alone. And then there's a link to another Bad Roommates post made only a couple of days before the one that we just read and all the comments was made. So I guess let's go back in time. Let's hear the first draft before it completely entered the spin zone. Hey guys, my roommate treats me like crap over every little thing. User icy relationship and the other user is last adeptness, but you still know it's the same person because they're describing exactly the same thing. You thought making a new account would make it all better? That's adorable. One of my 24 male Discord friends, 27 female, took me in a couple of months ago. At first it was great, but now she fully dictates my life. I mean, you thought it was gonna be different than living with your parents, didn't you? But you are under my house and you will live by my rules. For one, I'm no longer allowed to talk to my friends, except between certain times, because she claims that I keep her up until like 4 a.m. We have this argument basically every night, and I end up being forced out of our apartment if I want to call past 1 a.m. Why does it have to be a call? You know Discord has like a text chat function, right? Whatever. She doesn't care that there's snow on the ground. I still end up having to go outside because if I do not, she calls me inconsiderate and ridiculous, etc. Both of those statements seem accurate. She will outright insult my friends, calling them alcoholics and bad influences. She, of course, refuses to understand that I have literally no one else to talk to. I'm gonna be real with you guys for a minute right now and say it is pretty shocking to me that this OP is actually a dude, okay? I didn't expect some dude to be this whiny and helpless. You need somebody else to talk to? Find somebody else to talk to and do it during normal human hours. Especially if you're not contributing anything to the household. Oh, it's just making my brain hurt. Another thing is that I have little money. We actually argued about that last night. I asked her to buy a gallon of milk because I was having a bad day. I bet that's exactly how he phrased it too. Can you go to the store and get me a gallon of milk? I had a bad day. You're not a pregnant woman, okay? We have no relationship aside from you just living in my house. Buy your own goddamn gallon of milk. She said, look, you had the whole day to get yourself some milk. Buy some tomorrow. I told her that I was trying to save money and that she could have some of the milk too. Oh, thank you for this gift of milk that I bought. And she basically said, is paying your rent not enough? I told her that all she had to say was no instead of guilt tripping me. And she said, cool, then no. God, I love this roommate, dude. She is no nonsense. It's exactly what this boy needs to whip him into shape. I guarantee there's no father figure, so this lady's gonna have to do. I really feel like a huge burden, and she keeps making me feel like crap. If you felt like a huge burden, you probably wouldn't request milk. Can you go buy me some milk at night? That's not grocery store milk, that's 7-Eleven milk. You're paying a 50% markup right now. 'Cause you had a bad day. I need milk at 4 a.m. How has she resisted, like, not just hiring somebody to beat him with a lead pipe? Especially since she gets irritated that nobody wants to hire me for my lack of job experience. I don't think it's the lack of job experience. I think it's the whole personality that you got going on here. If you're unemployed like this, really looking for a job, use that time to build yourself a portfolio, okay? Learn how to do some artwork or programming and get some money coming in. You might start out doing it for free, and that's fine. Apparently you can afford that at the moment. But you can't lean on this woman forever. If I talk about my mental health at all, she accuses me of making excuses for everything. All that said, I made a close friend on Discord a couple months ago who's willing to get me out of this situation before the lease expires, and I look forward to it for my sanity. Yeah, you're just leapfrogging from Discord friend to Discord friend. And you got this big elaborate sob story, and they probably eat it up until you show up and they realize you're a bag of trash and they're like, oh God, now I gotta get him out of my house? My mind is absolutely blown. That's just, how did you convince yourself that you were the good guy in the scenario? At least Reddit is telling it to him straight. I don't think he's gonna listen. Not Your Goth Girlfriend says, oof, I was wondering if this was the same person. Mountain Lemon, I think this is the third post I've read by the same person. Dizzy Eye says, thank you. I thought this sounded familiar. Yeah, there couldn't possibly be two people out here with this same way of thinking, right? Please? That's not a reality I want to live in. Larissa Odette says, you are an idiot. Zek Drago also back in this comment section making his triumphant return, and he says, look, you sound like a top tier bad roommate, OP. Please save your poor host the trouble and just leave their home. You are a leech. You're manipulative. You're downright rude and argumentative while offering zero monetary compensation or household support in any way. You won't wash dishes without a dish machine, but you also won't buy soap for it. So you tell your roommate to wash them. You won't buy your own food and tell them to buy it for you. And then you graciously allow them to have some of the milk that they bought. The milk thing kills me too. I'm pretty sure this dude's a McPoyle.
Couple of glasses of milk. Lukewarm. Skim for the lady.
You don't pay rent. You don't pay utilities. You don't work. You refuse to hear their clear communication on how your behavior bothers them and actually have the cojones to return the criticism back at them rather than admitting your own very obvious imperfections. You also sound entirely ungrateful for the literal handout that you have been receiving. What exactly do you do all day other than wait until 1 a.m. to make a bunch of phone calls? I'm just shocked. Their actions so indefensible. The truth laid out so clear before them, but you know OP's not gonna absorb any of it. Just gonna be like, oh, well, I'll stop going on Reddit. You guys are a bunch of jerks too. Maybe if I make another story and change some details, it'll all turn out different. No, we see through you within a few sentences. It's very obvious. Sapphire 8 says, there is no act. Your aunt just got your version of the story. In the real world, even expecting your girlfriend to be your mom or maid will not go over well. Your roommate is even less committed to cleaning up after you because you are roommates. Looking after your chores is not in the contract. Do not expect long-lasting relationships if this is how you treat a mere roommate. Do you think mommy did all this stuff for him? Just coddled the hell out of him? Maybe not if he chose to leave the safety of the nest at 24. He thought he was going to be living that high life with his new roommate. Instead, it just completely devolved into a mess. And while I love to see it, I also really hate to see it, man. I hope he gets it figured out in some form or fashion, but not in this post, not today. Outlaws Arrow says, seriously, you again? you're not going to get positive responses. You are extremely out of line and out of touch with reality. Get a grip. Do your own dishes and pay your own freaking rent. Stop keeping people up until unholy hours. I really would like a response to some of these. What does he do all day aside from waiting until 1 a.m. to call his alcoholic friends? Indica's World says, no one feels bad for you. Clean up after yourself and be an adult. That's the words he always needed to hear. Token or Tolkien. This is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever read here, and that is saying a lot. I mean, I don't know if it's more ridiculous than the guy that pooped in the suitcase, but considering it's like from the horse's mouth, it's special in a different kind of way. Cats for Zaz says, my sibling in Christ, you got run off of Am I the Antagonist the other day for this. You are so clearly in the wrong here, and for some reason just refuse to admit it. I wish we could find that AITA thread too. It doesn't seem to be around no more. You know those mods, they pretty gung-ho. Bubbles the Implacable says, dude, I don't want to be mean because I get that having mental illness issues sucks. And I get that your roommate isn't your favorite person, but nothing your roommate has asked of you in this post is unreasonable. So no, not the a-hole for leaving, but you are the a-hole for having really unrealistic expectations. If you can't wash your own dishes, then you trade that chore for one that you can do. Or you use paper plates. Yeah, and then probably refuse to take out the trash because having a panic attack. You can't just expect your roommate to always clean your mess. Also, having respect for other people's sleeping hours is not unreasonable. Talk to your friends all you want, but not at 4 a.m. Yeah, and if you're gonna do it at 4 a.m., just write the message with your dirty little fingers, right? Nothing wrong with a good keyboard talk. I guarantee you that you aren't being as quiet as you think you are. So yeah, move out. It doesn't sound like y'all are compatible. Dude, that's Bubbles with like kind of a soft kill right there. I don't think it's a case of OP being incompatible with this roommate. I think it's OP being incompatible with other human beings in general. You need to take a good hard look at yourself, dude. This is ludicrous. And you really think that you can twist people's arms into living this way because you made a Reddit post? I don't know, my mind's just kind of blown. Dead Inside Lol says, let's get this straight. You won't do chores, you aren't paying rent, she is. You're making phone calls at 4 a.m. and getting mad at her when she very reasonably gets upset. You get mad when she calls you out on your BS, and now you're on Reddit, expecting everyone to take your side. You're 24, OP, and yes, you are the shittiest of roommates. Grow up, pal. Oh, he called him pal at the end. That really drives it home, doesn't it? Get it together, buddy. Wash your dishes, friend. Her name Bubbles says you sound like an incorrigible nightmare. Yes, you are definitely the a-hole, and I'm happy that you were finally able to do one decent thing for your roommate by leaving her house. Nobody owes you a goddamn thing. She is not responsible for paying your rent, nor is she responsible for cleaning up after you. And as far as blaming her for bothering your ill elderly aunt, well, you're the one who called her, are you not? Stop blaming the world for your problems.
But OP never did stop blaming others for their own problems. They hopped from roommate to roommate for the rest of existence, making bad Reddit posts about their host every time.
Bro, I'm surprised that this went on for as long as it did. There's no frame of reference, you know, there's no time period, but for longer than a month, I'm shocked. I don't know how he convinced this friend to let him move in, or what sob story he told, or what he told to the next roommate, but I'm pretty sure he's going to leapfrog until he's 30 and the bottom falls out from under him because he has no more Discord friends to leech off of. Then he'll probably move back in with his mommy and subjugate her again. I don't know how to fix this, honestly. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I do highly recommend that you consult one sooner rather than later. Jesus, this was a rough one to get through. But I hope that you found some enjoyment in it, friends. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched this far, you know? I hope you like, comment, subscribe on the video. Check out the links in the description. Many social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Discord, etc. Also thanking my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous Patreon patrons and YouTube channel members, helping me to stay afloat. If you can join them, please do. It really is more help than you could possibly conceive of. But if you can't afford it, I mean, that ain't no big deal either. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you come back and watch again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, you know? And of course, always, most importantly, remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely, definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.